Hey folks, it's Frithgar here, how you doing? Welcome back to another video of Dyson Sphere Program. In here and in here. There's 4 of them, and that one and that one, and now I have run out until, oh no, he's now actually making them. Right, ideal. And you and you and you and you into there. Right, there's that bit for the solar sails. Then I'm going to want a belt coming out of here and do something with the solar sails. I don't actually know what I'm supposed to do with them yet. This is still a little bit of a mystery to me. So we will find this out eventually. Another one here and here, and then I want to get some power lines on these, and I've got some other things that I want to build as well. We want to build that one, except I'm not too worried about that one just yet. It's this, the EM rail ejector. Launch a large amount of solar sails into the orbit of the system star to form a Dyson Sphere. So that one right there, that's what I need the steel for. I got steel sitting on a rack over the other side. I can go, let me get the steel a second. It's right here. It is right here. I can go and pick it up. How do you actually pick stuff up off of a belt? This is something that I'm not sure of. Oh. Press and hold it like that. Mind if I do? It's giving me 70, 100. There we go. Right. 200. Just like that. That's a pretty cool way of doing that. And I've got 1,700 in storage over here. And then the other side, we're going to have a whole load more over there. Steel, we could do with upping our steel production. We could do with upping our steel game there, really. I'm going to worry about it just for a second. And I am going to make an EM rail ejector. So I want to make one of those. I don't know if more of those would be beneficial to us. I need to make some processor components. That's easy to go and do. We just want the microcrystalline components, which are not being made right here. And then we want some silicon as well. So there's some bits that we want so that we can go make that other item, but we don't need to worry about it yet. I'll go back that way. And then one. And another one over there. Right, that's looking pretty good. And then we can go over here and we'll be able to see this EM ejector thing. I have no idea how this one works. I've never used it. I haven't seen anything on how I'm supposed to use it. Energy exchanger power transmission. The power conversion facility can not only store the surplus electrical energy in a power grid into an empty accumulator to make a full accumulator, it can also release electric energy stored in a full accumulator. It takes quite a lot of materials to go and make that one. So it's not that one that I want to make. It's this one here that I'm going to want to make to start with. And we will deal with that in a minute. We won't do that just yet. I do want to go in here and I want to take some of these photon combiners so that I've got a few... You know, there's an easier way. Just do it like that. I love this. Genuinely love this. Right, I've got those. And I've now got transportation. That's a transportation, the energy exchanger. Matrix Lab there. Dyson Sphere is this one and the ray receiver. So I suspect that the ray receiver is going to be one that's going to be quite important to us. EM rail ejector. That right there. I'm going to pop that one down there on the end. It's going to need some power.
An EM rail ejector. You have taken the first step to build the Dyson Sphere. Now you can use it to send solar sails into space for forming the Dyson Swarm. Each EM rail ejector requires to set up orbit and supply with solar sails. Also, you can use copy and paste to set orbits. If you want a Dyson Swarm orbit become more diversified, you can click the Dyson Sphere button in the lower left corner of the screen to open the Dyson Sphere panel. Make your customization however you want.
Alright, things are getting complex now. Things are definitely starting to get complex. So I've got choose, orbit, edit. Wow. Edit, orbit. Right, solar sails in total, Dyson Swarm, generation capacity, star illumination is ×1, add orbit, show all orbits. There's an orbit. So just kind of like wings around it like that. Dyson shell, add orbit. Oh, wow. Right, that's similar to what we've got already. Orbit inclination. Let me have a look at that one. Orbit number 1. Its status is activated. Add an orbit. So what's the one that I've already got then? Set that to 0. Oh, I see. That's all the way down there. Orbit radius there. So what's the orbit radius that I've got here? Orbit number 1. Activated. Show. Doesn't actually tell me. I want some details on this one. I want some actual details on this. Generation capacity. Solar sail in. So it's just added at the moment. I don't know what I'm supposed to do with that. Add orbit in here. Right, so there's a big elliptical one. Longitude. No, it's not elliptical at all. It is perfectly circular. It's just bigger than the other one. So there's the orbit. Right. We're too close to planet orbit. Right. Planet orbit. And then it goes all the way out there. So I can bring you in like that. That's pretty much the same as the last one. So then we've got orbit inclination. What I want to do is actually want to set that. If I set the orbit inclination on this one to exactly 90, like that, it'll go like that. And then longitude, that doesn't matter. So if I set this one to exactly 180... that will go like that. I think this could look very, very cool. If we have one that way, and then I want 2 more that will go kind of the other 2 diagonals. I think that could look very epic. Actually, I want to turn this one. Set that to 90. I want it that way. I'm gonna have a whole series of these. So the orbit radius at 11,248. That's the bit that we've got to change a little bit. Just tweak that so that it's right on there. I've got to get that exactly how the other one is, and that's where I'm struggling. Yeah, I don't like that I can't see what this one is. I'm gonna assume it is 11,250. There. That looks about right, and it's a fairly even number. Does that seem right to you? If I mean 11,000, maybe it is 11,000. 11,000 right there is too small. That's definitely too small. So 11,250. I've added in several. So we've got a line of them here. We've got a cross sort of going that way. Look down here, we've got a line of them down that way and a cross going in. The only ones I don't have at the moment is a cross going that way, but I'm not going to worry about that. I just wanted to do that just to see if we can do it or not. I've no idea how this works. I don't know anything about it. So I'm happy with that bit right there, and that's activated. Like, they're all activated. So I don't know, like, what the point of any of that is just yet. But, I mean, if I go in here, I've now got a selection of orbits that I'm assuming that I can now seed. So if I select that one, lack of solar sails, I can now start firing that up into there. Excuse me. We're too close to the rail ejector. I want to pop that one down there so that we've got a supply. And there he is. He's got that bit in, so I just need to have a belt that will run in and... oh, it doesn't feed in. We've got to have loaders to do this. So we'll put a fast loader in there, and that one drops in there like that. And now I've got An EM rail projector is loading in a whole load of these. Pitch limit right there. Target your angle, target pitch. So eventually, there we go. Look, he's loading up, and he loads up 20 at a time. So he's getting into the right kind of bit right there. And I'm assuming in a minute, he's going to fire this off into space. I don't know how long it takes before he's actually able to fire it out. What are you doing? You should just... Ooh. He's shooting. He's actually doing it. He's firing them one at a time out into space. Let's go and have a look. Let's see if it's actually doing anything over here. I'm shooting stuff over that way. And yeah, I gotta kind of, like, can I move around in space like this? I think right. Let me go and view the sun over here. And then if we look down this way, we've got our ships running backwards and forwards. And there are the solar sails out in space being launched across. And they're just slowly going on their beginning orbit. So what I can do is I can have now a separate gun to seed each of these, and they will just keep on going round. And if I seed each of them, then we'll have that kind of big swarm shape that we've got. At least that's what I'm assuming. Alright, because this bad boy here, he's taking his time to go through and get each one. He's using a lot of power as well, I think. But they're not using them all that fast, so I could get a whole line of these EM shot-fired machines. How much landfill have I got? I want to get a little bit more landfill. That's what I want. I want to go into environment modification. I want to take that and drop some of this down. That's getting me a little bit of soil pile right in there. There and there. You do it where there's mountains. I haven't got much in the way of mountains here, but that's got me 46,000. The reason I want this is because I want to bring some soil pile along here so I can put a line of cannons in. Actually, I want the line of cannons to go along this way. So I run them along here. I gotta make sure I don't run out of foundation, because that's expensive stuff to make. It takes a lot of steel to do that, and I'm not currently producing all that much steel. So if I run back through this, that's more than enough landfill placed. Put a bit up there and just fill in this little bit of ocean here. So I'm going to fill in all of that bit there just because I can. Right, that's looking pretty good. We've got 11,000. That'll do very nicely there. And I've got my EM thingy-majiggy going off here. Just fill in a couple more bits there where it's not quite here. There's another bit there. So you can see these little tiny pockets of water that aren't quite filled in. Right, anyway. You, EM cannon. I can make another one of these. How many more can I make? The microcrystal... I want some of these, so I want the microcrystalline components. I have 32 of those. So I want the processors. If I was actually going to get the processors, it'd probably be faster. I've got processors over this way. Where did I leave them? Processors are over here somewhere. What am I making right here? No, that's iron in there. Processors are... Wait. Here. There's the... Right, there are my processors. So I'm going to take 400 of those, and we'll drop those into my storage. So I got EM rail. I got these right here. It's those supermagnetic rings. I'm actually making those somewhere else as well. So if I go and get some of them, that's going to make life even easier for me to manufacture stuff. Let me just squeeze everything up a little bit there. And where was I making those supermagnetic rings? There, we are making supermagnetic rings right there, but I'm not storing them. Rather bizarrely. Why would I not be storing them? That is a really weird thing for me to go and do. I'm sure I had my reasons, but I don't remember what they were now. So let's change that, shall we? We'll pop you in there like that, and then we will take a logistics, and we will pop one in and one back out again. There. Right. I'm absolutely certain I had a very, very good reason for wanting to do something as ridiculous as this, but quite what that reason would have been, I can't for the life of me fathom. Right, you know what, that will probably do for a minute, and I want to go to you, 1, 2, 3, 4, like that, and then I can go back into here, and EM rail, I can make a whole load of these now. I haven't got any gear wheels, but this is fine. So 1, 2, 3, 4 of those right now. Actually, I'm going to cancel that one and that one, because I'd rather get some of these from over here. It's going to be faster. And make up a few of these. I'd like 7, I think it is, so that I've got my, like, just the right number. Hang on, I want some more of these. Right, now we're slowing down on the production of these bad boys in here. Take that one. I got 6 of these. Yeah, we're definitely slowing down on those now. I'm waiting. It's because they're no, it's not anything to do with that. It's just the fact that this one's quite slow to make them. I could speed that one up, but honestly, I don't think it's going to make any difference. Okay, so we'll go in there, and then I'll go back here and I'll make another EM rail projector right there. And I'll have to just manufacture a couple myself. That'll make it a little bit easier. Right, Dyson who's it? Dyson Sphere right there. I've got 7 orbits at the moment. I will make more orbits, but right now, as I've got 7 orbits, I want 7 cannons. And 7 EM guns. If I can have all 7 of them, I'm going to put 7 of them in a line all along here, as close together as I possibly can, and then we can go and like place a whole load out onto the ground. So Dyson Sphere right here is 4. I want 1 more. No, I don't. I want 2 more. 2 more of these. Let's go and get them a second. Where's the... There they are. They're in there. That makes 12 of these. And so then I want to go into there, and I want to make 1. I'm already making 1 right there. That's the 2 more that I need then, isn't it? So 5. 1 more will be 6. That will make all 7 that I want to do this little bit. So if we go and take that one there a second. So it's saying it's too close. No tall buildings in the muzzle rotation area. So there is 1, 2. That was actually 3. 4. And 5. These take up... You have to go further than I thought with these. 6. And no tall buildings. 7. Right, there is 7 of those all the way along there. And as I've got a space over this side, I will bring a belt around this way to do this. I will get rid of that just for a second, and instead, if we go here to logistics and we bring that belt up this way, and then I'll run that belt all the way along over to there. I'm going to run the belt a little bit longer than it needs to be so that I can then come back and I can do some stuff in a minute. I don't actually need anything particularly fast loading these. Just want to hook them in like this. I do want to run in and quickly hook up the power lines. So we will put too close to... Yeah, got to be careful of that. We can't have these power lines too close to them either. So we're going to have to like set these slap bang in the middle of each of them. Put one over there. There should be everything in there. And that's loading up in there. I've got to put these in. So that's going to be number 2. That one is going to be number 3 orbit. That one's going to be number 4 orbit. This one's going to be number 5 orbit. And this one's going to be number 6, and this one's going to be number 7, like that. And so then I can go back over this way, and I can go with the feeders. 1 there, 1 there, 1 there, and 1 there as well. Right, so then I want to look down here. I've got 3 sails there. I'm just going to dump them in because I don't want to be carrying them around. And we now have a line of guns. A line of EM guns. Miniature particle collider. You have unlocked a miniature particle collider used to produce deuterium and antimatter stably, but will consume a lot of energy. Yeah, well, I'm just sorting out the energy production thing now. At least I'm hoping that that's what I'm doing. So if you're too far away for me to even look at, apparently. What about you? Target your angle 95 minus 58 right there, pitch limit. I don't know where it's going to come in. In a minute, we are going to be able to start firing this thing. Oh, there we go. Not quite sure where they all are going to be going, but they will. Like they've each one has got their own target, like location for shooting. We've just got to wait for that sun to come up. Okay, that is very cool. I'm waiting for the sun to come up, obviously, and I'm looking over there, and there's our Dyson Swarm. It's actually already working. We've got a working Dyson Swarm, and it is doing what we want it to do. I'm waiting right here because I don't want to miss these things starting to fire off. It's getting light over there. I've got these heading off. Like, I've got ships coming in and out of our interplanetary thing over that side. Logistics vessel, did you see that? It's just heading off to another planet. You can actually see, physically see around the sun now, the very beginnings of our Dyson Swarm. There's another ship getting ready to, I think that's bringing materials in. And this one is, there we go. We've had our first launch. And it's firing them out into that part of the Dyson Swarm that it's creating there. I've got these over here, so I'm thinking that it's shooting at the starting point of the swarm that it's got. So this one isn't doing anything yet because it's not got access to its starting location. See, this one back here, depending on how I formed like the initial part of it, that's why it's waiting. So why are you waiting? Ah, minus. As soon as it reaches pitch limit 1, I guess it's got to be above a certain... Well, what is the level that it's got to be above? 3? Is it 5? 5 degrees, maybe? It's got to be getting close. 5. It's got to be above 5 degrees. As soon as it gets above 5 degrees, it's able to start firing. So I've now got my line of guns in it. This is so cool. This is so genuinely cool, and look, you can see there, if we zoom out a little bit, you can just kind of see it rotating around, and I've got several of them that are going to be like lining up now and firing. This is so very, very, very awesome. I'm going to zoom out like this. This is all the stars. We want to have a look at Capella over here and zoom in a little bit. And there we can see the start of the swarm. And look at them coming out. Oh, this is so amazing. This is so actually very, very cool. Look at it. And all those careful little orbits that I went and made and lined up with all of the right numbers on there. 11,250. This is a crucial number. And then we've got these tracking backwards and forwards. We haven't got very far for them to go at the moment between Capella. There's only half an AU, just over half an AU, between us over here and that one there. It's very short distance. It's not like they're going from one side of the galaxy, one side of the solar system to the other. But look at this. Look at these lines coming out through. That's so awesome. It's so absolutely cool. Right. They are firing like crazy at the moment right on there. Again, so very, very cool. It does not get much cooler than that. I love that. This is so cool. Right, if I mention that, I think it's quite cool. And I want to then go in here. So is this one here, the ray receiver? I think we need to go and do something with this one now, because we need to be able to receive high energy rays transmitted from the Dyson Swarm. So I've got a Dyson Swarm going up there, but I don't actually know what I'm supposed to be doing with the thing. See, I've got stuff in here. Nodes in total generation capacity, 0 watts. What? Generation capacity, 15.8 megawatts, 15.9 megawatts. Solar sails in total, 450. coming out there. Generation capacity 16.5 megawatts. Right, that's great and all. If I have a look in here, 89 megawatts on there. Now, is that anything to do with the Dyson Swarm, or is that just what I got here? I don't really know. This is 88.7 up there. I don't know if that's anything. I don't think that's anything to do with the Dyson Swarm. I need this silicon here. Unfortunately, it's all going there into the microcrystalline components, and nothing else is happening with it. There is one way that I can grab a little bit, and that is to go all the way up there and click on that bit of belt right there, and then that will allow me to suck up quite a bit. Let me go there like that. And bring in everything that is sitting on that belt. That's got 30 of them. That's got 45 of those right now. Is that going to be enough to make this one? I needed 20 to make this one. I can actually now manufacture 2. So I'm going to do that to make these. And then we get that ray receiver. We can put the ray receiver on the ground and we can see what will happen with these. And you can see over here, now that one seems to have more difficulty reach. I would guess as we go round the complete year of our orbit, we would have more of these guns able to fire to different things. Like, we're looking out over here. Look at that orbit up there. This is so amazing. This is genuinely, genuinely amazing. Right, that there, see? I don't know why it can't shoot up there. See, I'm not quite sure how all of this works, but yeah, we've got different things that we can do in here anyway. Ray receiver. So I've got a satellite substation. Wide area power distribution facility provides longer range power transmission and a larger power supply area. We'll have a look at that later. I'm not going to worry about that one just for a minute. I do want to go into Dyson Sphere production. It's this one. Needs foundation support. So I can pop this one down here. Put that down there. So I've no idea what this one does. Ooh.
You built a ray receiver, which can receive the high-energy rays transmitted from the Dyson Sphere and directly input them to the power grid. However, caused by the ray receiving efficiency, the ray receiver's requested power will be larger than the documented output power of the Dyson Sphere. You can keep it working or upgrade technologies to increase the ray receiving efficiency.
Alright, so we've got some options in here. So we've got power generation, photon generation in here, power load 98% in there, continuous receiving. I'm not actually looking directly at the sun, so I've got to wait until tomorrow morning. Power generation. Under photon generation mode, ray receiver will receive energy with extremely high power and directly store it as photons in critical state. Power generation. Under power generation mode, ray receiver will add the output energy to the power grid. Dyson Sphere status 025. Unfortunately, folks, that is all we have got time for today. A massive thank you to everybody who has earned their way into the Great Book of Names. To find out some more details about all the names coming past, please head into the description and click on the link to the Discord. It's a link to another video. The link is on the other video. Please also consider checking out the links there for Nitrado, who provide gaming servers for games like Farming Simulator, Minecraft, Ark, and several others. And there's also Fanatical, who will help support your gaming habit by providing you with cheap games and also giving me a small commission on anything that you buy using my link. If you've enjoyed this particular video, then please head down below and give us a like. And if you really enjoyed it, then please tell your friends all about me. Get them to come and watch as well. That would be awesome. And until next time, thank you very much for watching. This is Frithgar. Goodbye, and see you later.